Hello everybody, today we're going to be doing a Starcraft 1 tier list minus Brood War. I just finished the campaign for, I don't know, I've played the campaign a couple times, although I will say I played Brood War more than I played the original Starcraft's campaign, because I'm a big fan of Marines and I like to be able to heal them, so yeah. Anywho, I just finished the campaign again. I haven't played it since I was pretty young. We're going to do a tier list on the units as I complete the campaigns, and I will add the Brood War units later, as you guys can see below. So, we're going to start with the SCV. This is an S tier unit. It can repair mechanical units. It builds all your stuff. All workers are generally going to be like an S tier, but I would say the SCV, just due to the fact that it can repair heavy mech units, makes it extremely useful, like tanks. Oh yeah, this is a tank. Battle cruisers and tanks. Just a solid unit to even have in your army to just back up repair things. Next, we're going to talk about the Marine. I think Marine's an A tier unit. It can generally be used throughout the whole campaign, and it's relatively effective and usable. It gets a little harder to use once they have tanks, because most of the initial campaign is you fighting against other Terran, and they make tanks, and tanks clear Marines pretty well unless they're spread out, so which is very hard with the pathing in the original Starcraft, but I think they're an A tier unit. Fire bats, I would probably put them in C tier. Honestly, I don't think they're that great. They're essentially the melee AoE clear against Zerg. They're okay against Zerg, but against everything else, not the best. I think they're going to be solid C. They can kind of tank for your Marines if you need them to, but generally you just don't make them, and you just make Marines. Ghost is an S tier unit. It has a bunch of upgrades, it has lockdown, it has a bunch of good stuff you can do with it. You can nuke things. It's very strong overall. It's either A or S. I want to put it in S just because at full capabilities it's S. At normal capabilities I'd probably put it in A. Being able to stealth and then lock things down is just very strong. So I think it's a pretty relatively powerful unit. It's either A tier without upgrades, and then with upgrades it's probably S tier. Goliath is probably another A tier unit. It's very, very strong. It can shoot air, does a good amount of damage to air units, and it has okay damage for ground units. I would say it's a solid A tier unit. Vulture we're going to put in B. It's a good scout unit. You can play and kind of kite a lot of Zerg melee units with it, but other than that, not fantastic. But it has its niche uses. Spider Mines are also decent in this game. They're kind of weird with their AI and how they work, but not a bad unit. Tanks, S tier, especially once you unlock siege mode. They can just blast tons of units and deal tons of damage very quickly. They're repairable by SCVs, which makes them very nice, because you can, bring SCVs with you and repair your tanks as they go. Just a very good unit to have on your squad. I like to do these with Marine support, and that's normally how I run tanks, but very good. Do need anti-air support though, but it is a very good unit. Dropships we're going to put in B tier. It's good, but it has its purpose is to pick up units and then drop them down. Therefore it can be good and bad. If they get destroyed, it kills all the units inside and you lose all your stuff. So you have to be very careful with dropships. But obviously there are maps in StarCraft, because you're in space, where you need to use dropships to get around. So it's a necessary unit. Wraiths I'm going to put in A tier. I think they're a solid unit. They have stealth. They're very strong. They're good against air, okay against ground. That's their weakness, is they need, they're not good against ground really. They're like air, more or less anti-air. The only thing that makes them relatively better against ground is that they have stealth, but there are ways to counter stealth. The Science Vessel is an S tier unit. It has radiate. It has a bunch of stuff like shielding. It can detect things. It's good to just click on one of your battle cruisers or, wraiths and have it follow them around to be a detector. It has a lot of good uses for it, and it's just a strong unit. Battle cruisers, I'm probably going to put in A tier. Just the cost of battle cruisers and the amount of food they take makes them a little bit harder to use effectively, but they are, obviously a very strong unit. I could put them in S tier with overall strength, but I'm going to put them in A because of the cost and everything. It does take some minerals. It usually takes an extra gas to really get them up and going to where you can make an effective army. You're generally going to want to put SCVs with them, at least 2 to 3, to repair them as they go so they don't die. Very good unit, but again, I think it's top of A, and it can be S tier, but it's just so expensive that just losing one is just very, very bad. Anyways, these are where I'm going to put my Terran units for now. I'm going to be starting the Zerg campaign next, and we'll do a tier list at the end of that to rate them, but this is where I put all the units currently. When we play Brood War, at the end of Brood War, I'll add in the Valkyrie and the Medic, and we'll rate them as well, because it might slightly adjust the list as well. Having Medics is a huge game changer for Terran. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoy, and get pumped for the Zerg campaign. See you there. Later.